everybody, it's me, Mrs. Almaty, and I am here after school getting ready to read to you the book, How Bat Got His Wings. And I chose this book because this week we are doing a topic study all about bats. And of course, we're using fantastic nonfiction texts to teach us all about bats and their habitat and what they like to eat and all of those interesting things. But I wanted to read you a really interesting fictional story about bats so that we can compare fiction stories and nonfiction stories. Now, this story in particular is a folk tale. And that's really important for you to know because folk tales are a specific genre of books. Now, a folk tale, and excuse me because I have a little cheat sheet here, is an old story that has been told again and again for generations. If you're interested in learning more about your heritage, you might read some folk tales from the country in which your great-great-grandparents grew up. And so folk tales are from certain give me just a second, certain cultures, and it's usually retold by mouth. So they're telling it rather than writing it. Now, eventually, this was told so many times that someone loved it and decided to write it down, and that was the author Gerald McDermott. But he's really not the one that originally came up with this story because, again, it is a folk tale retold over and over again. And so our goal in reading this is to be able to retell this story specifically. And so you're carrying on that folk tale by retelling it again. All right, guys, so we're going to start reading, and we need to go ahead and turn to the next page, and let me get comfy here in my table. All right, guys. And before we get started, remember that if I say pause and give you a question to talk about your partner with, please do that and then just push the play button and continue listening. And last but not least, I expect you to be pointing to the words. You can use one of these nasty witch fingers if you would like, but please point to the words and really try to listen to me read, pay attention to the way the words look, and really try to comprehend or understand the story. If you're going to retell it, you are going to want to know what happened in the beginning, and then next, in the middle, and then at the end as well. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to pull this a little bit closer. So let me grab my camera right here. All right, guys. And let's get started. And I'm going to use this nasty witch finger to point as well. All right. Please put your finger on A. A long time ago, the animals had a big game of ball. They broke up into teams. One side had birds, or animals with wings. The other side had animals with legs, but they did not have wings. So stop here and think about what you've just read. If you don't do that, again, it's very important that you start. So this is a long time ago, and the animals are playing ball. And of course, there's two teams, one with wings and the other with legs that did not have any wings. All right, go ahead and turn the page. You should be on page 14. Please put your finger on the. The animals who did not have wings were big and fast. They could toss a ball a long way and run like the wind. The birds were fast, but not as big. Yet, with their wings, they could carry a ball way up in the air. The animals with legs could not jump up and grab it. So right now, after reading this, I see that the story is letting us know that each team had very special strengths. and I can use text evidence to prove that. According to the text, it says the animals who did not have any wings were big and fast, and they could, toss the ball really, really far. And according to this page, the birds were fast, not quite as big, but they could carry it way up into the air, so high up that the animals with legs could not get it. Very cool. I like the illustrations. Go ahead and turn the page. You should be on page 16 and 17. All right, put your finger on at. At last, game day came. The animals and birds met on the playing field. Both teams felt very excited. "We will win!" came the calls. Just then, an animal with 4 very little legs stepped up. It was a gray bat. He went to the animals. Well, I can tell, before we move on, that this is the middle of the book. We've just moved into the middle. So what I would like for you to do is, in a minute, you're gonna pause it, and I want you to discuss with your partner why I believe it is, it's moved from the beginning into the middle. And there's a key feature that kind of tells us that. There's actually a couple. So go ahead and pause, talk to your partner for about 1 minute, and you can use the timer, and then push play, and we will meet back up on page 18 and 19. Pause. All right, guys, so you've just discussed how we are in the middle, and I can tell because first the days changed, game day came. First it was all about practicing and telling us all about the strengths of the team and opening the story up, but now it's game day. And a new character has arrived. In fact, it's the main character, because if I go back, the title of the story is How Bat Got Its Wings. Oh my goodness, and they just told us that the animal had 4 little legs. Gray bat. Okay, so we are on page 18 and 19. And what I would like for you to do is go ahead and put your finger on can. "Can I play on this team?" he asked. "You are much too small to play," laughed the animals. "And look at those little legs. We can't win with you." "I may be little," said Gray Bat, "but I can do lots of things." Next, Gray Bat went to the birds. "Can I play on this team?" he asked. The birds shook their heads. "Our team has wings," they explained. "But the animals say I am not big and I can't play with them," said Gray Bat. Oh, after reading that, I was thinking about how horrible Gray Bat must feel. I know if that was me and I was told I can't play with anyone, I would feel very lonely and sad. Especially the way they were saying it, laughing and shaking their heads. Oh, I feel so bad for him. Well, we've got a problem, friends. Go ahead and tell your partner what the problem is after you push pause, and then please push play, and we will meet on page 20 and 21. All right, so you guys just discussed the problem, and poor little bat has no team to play on, and he must feel pretty bad. So let's see what happens. Please put your finger on then. Then, Blue Jay spoke up. "Maybe there's a way for Gray Bat to play with us." "Tell us about it," said Raven. "We can give him wings," said Blue Jay. "That's splendid!" Cardinal exclaimed. "Oh my goodness!" Oh, the birds found a solution and they're going to give Bat wings. All right, we're on page 21 and we are on the word so. So the birds took the skin off the top of a big drum. Then they took sticks and made special wings for Gray Bat. How creative. They realized there was a problem and they came up with their very own solution. Oh my goodness. Okay, turn the page. And now we're on page 22 and 23. "Let's see if he can fly," said Blue Jay. Gray Bat flapped his wings. He went zig and zag. He could not go in a line like a real bird. "That's the best I can do," Gray Bat said and smiled. "Just sit and wait until we need you," said the birds. Please put your finger on "at last." And that's a huge clue that we are finally into the end of the book. So let's go ahead and read. At last, the game began. The animals and birds played their best to win. The ball zipped up and down. Gray Bat just sat and waited. When the end of the game was close, each team had 8 points. Gray Bat still had not played. With a little time left, the animals took the ball and ran with it. I love how they drew the bat hanging upside down. So we are in the story, at the end of the story, and we know that because they're using the word "at last." The game began, and we now see that they're tied up with 8 points and Bat has still not played. Go ahead and turn the page. And we're on page 26 and 27. Ooh, I can tell already that Bat's gonna get a chance to play. I can tell by looking at those amazing illustrations. Go ahead and put your finger on just. Just then, Gray Bat stood up. "Let me help," he said. He flew up, up, up with his special wings. He grabbed the ball and carried it in his zigzag way. The animals could not catch him. "We win!" yelled the birds. "Gray Bat did it!" To this day, Gray Bat plays on the bird team. He flies in his own way. And that is how the bat got wings. Oh, wow. I'm so glad that Bat got a chance to play. And I love a good story where a character goes through changes and kind of feels redemption or like they finally have achieved something at the end. And I really feel like Bat probably feels that way. And of course we know that a bat is not a bird, but in this folk tale, fake fiction story, the bat plays on the bird's team. And I can see why. They helped him get wings. So, all right, guys, that's a great story. And remember the reasons why we are reading this book. It is to be able to retell the story. We're going to pass this folk tale on to others, just like folk tales are done. So, what I want us to do is kind of practice that first, and I have 2 different sheets for you to use. At this station, you are going to draw a picture, beginning, middle, and end. And you can feel free to use the book to help you determine again what the beginning was, the middle, and the end. I think one of the easiest ways to tell when a story is transitioning from one to the next is the time changes. They use terms like at last or next, or a character may arrive or leave. So we determined that the story started on page 12, and from 12 to page 15, that was the beginning. From page 16 to, let's see, 23, that was the middle, and 24 to 27, that was the end. So if you need to reread and help yourself kind of figure that out, go ahead. Draw that really, really nice illustration. And later on in the week, we are going to watch this video again, reading this story together, and then we are going to take it to this page where we are writing to retell the story. So both will be here so that you can get an idea of where we're gonna go with this. But for this station, I would like for you guys to just draw pictures kind of showing the beginning, the middle, and the end. I cannot wait to see you illustrate this story in your own pictures. And again, as always, I have enjoyed reading with you guys, and I hope that you liked our folktale book called How Bat Got Its Wings. All right, see you later, guys. Bye.